Coach Polonna's Hilltoppers are preparing for Conference USA push as they enter a home stretch of the season. The only question is now, which player will be able to suit up when it matters most?
Plus, the Lady Toppers are surging towards a top finish in Conference USA, but can they get the championship? We'll answer that next and more on The Extra Point.
Pass is called, one-handed grab. Are you kidding me, Dalvin?
Dug him with space, inside the 10, looks to break the tackle, and he breaks the end zone.
Dominate on 3 with 3 times.
They will keep it on the ground with Wales. Not only will he get the first down, he'll get the touchdown and the championship.
Use it for Rogers for 3 for the win. Western Kentucky does it great.
The grass is red in Kentucky. Holy moly.
The Hilltoppers are champions of Conference USA.
Welcome inside studio to the home of the Extra Point. I'm Jonah Listerman, and that's Kaylee Marksberry.
And Jonah, we are so excited to be back for another hour of local sports coverage. Let's start with men's basketball. They lost to MTSU.
Yeah,
what happened?
It honestly has not been a good couple run of games for the Toppers. I mean, let's think about this. MTSU, with that win, they already solidified both games in the regular season against the Toppers. I mean, the Hilltoppers had 21 rebounds, which is like the most that they've had all season, which was really good for them, but it honestly just kind of didn't do as much as we hoped it would do. Kaylee, what were your thoughts on the game?
77-87, losing by 10. WKU could have done better, I think, but Don McHenry, he had 20 points. He went 7 for 17, which was pretty good, and then Christian Lander, he was right behind him with 18 points. Yep. But you said WKU had 21 offensive rebounds. MTSU only had 15, so WKU did have the upper hand there, but WKU had 9 turnovers. MTSU scored off of every single one.
And I think because of those turnovers, that is what eventually led to their downfall. I mean, also, MTSU did have a good chunk of turnovers themselves. I mean, they had 6. But the Tops weren't able to make a single point on any of those. And if you are going to want to win games, especially against a team like MTSU, you have to be able to make those rebounds. And if you can't, you're screwed. And that's exactly what happened to them.
I 100% agree. But let's go ahead and hear from Coach Hank Polonna.
I guess I'd rather shoot a better percentage from the floor. At the same time, if you're not going to, then getting the rebound and that is the second way to score. So, we need to be a consistently better offensive rebounding team than we have been all year. Now, our defense has not been as strong the last few games for sure. Maybe it's the different combinations. I'm not sure, but our defense does need to improve. I thought versus middle for a stretch we were pretty good, and then the defensive rebounding was giving us some issues.
Yeah. Now, Kaylee, I know you and I were both at that Sam Houston game last night, and it was not a pretty sight. But what were your thoughts on the game?
Honestly, Jonah, I was very disappointed to see how high Sam Houston was up in the first half. WKU was down by 20 points in the first half consistently. I think Coach Polonna said it best. Our defense, WKU's defense, needs to improve a lot.
It does, especially because at that game too, Sam Houston was able to put the pressure on the Hilltoppers like no other. And if you can't answer to that pressure or even put that pressure back on that team, that you're just gonna lose. Especially when we talk about a player from Sam Houston, Lamar Wilkinson. He led that team, and the Tops couldn't stop him. I think every shot he had, it went in.
Yep. He had 14 points, 10 rebounds. They were all defensive rebounds, and he had 7 assists. He is 47.2% from the field. He is a player that WKU was not ready for.
No.
And I think that WKU was just intimidated, like you said. But Sam Houston had 93.8% from their free throw percentage. WKU only had 64%. So
yeah,
I just think it just could have gone so much better.
I do too, and I think the biggest thing with the Tops for this that I noticed really was the fact that we weren't able to get a rebound at all. Like, not only could we not put the the ball in the basket, we couldn't even get a rebound to save our lives. So it's like we shot it and then it went straight into Sam Houston's hands. And it wasn't even like there was a real fight for it. I feel like the only fight that I saw was when Don McHenry literally had the ball, was going down the court, and a guy from Sam Houston was right on his tail.
Yeah.
But now let's go ahead and hear what Coach Hank Polona had to say about this team.
Was juggled by Harris. Lets him eat all the way to the
and talk about La Tech, the coming up game tomorrow. I think I'm a little worried for Hilltoppers. I mean, they've had 4 losses in a row, but Kaylee, what do you think is going to happen?
I think that it could go either way. And that is because WKU and La Tech, I think, are pretty similar when it comes to the statistics, given that their field goal percentage is 63%, but they are first in the conference. So, but CUSA, they had the preseason player of the year, Daniel Bacho, which I think is a very big benefit for La Tech, but they are 10-3 home, 3-6 away. They do average about 13 turnovers per game, which in a way could be an advantage to WKU.
If WKU can take what they learned from MTSU and apply it to La Tech, then yeah, there's definitely a chance. But again, the thing is though, MTSU struggled against La Tech when they played them last. And so that's something that Hilltoppers are just going to have to keep in mind. Like, this is going to be a way harder team than just MTSU. Like, they are going to have to bring their A game if they want to win. You know, and let's also talk about, you brought up Bacho. So let's bring him back. Yeah, let's bring him back up. This guy has a 69% field goal rate. Like, that is insane. And you have to keep up with a player like that. Like, if he's gonna make a 2-pointer, you have to make a 2-pointer. That's just how the game is gonna have to work. And also, he's a high defensive rebounder. Again, WKU has to be on their A game defensively and offensively. If they can't do that, then we're going to be screwed. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think that because, as I said before, he was Conference USA Player of the Year, he does make an impact, especially with those defensive rebounds, and that is something that WKU definitely struggles with, especially in the game against Sam Houston last night. But when we return, we'll see how the Lady Tops could sweep their road trip games.
And how Zofia Telegdi is leading the team through the end of conference play.
Here goes Hayes inside, kick out Mead, wide open for 3. Lady Toppers fakes to Hayes, off the cut. Acacia collects.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We're going to keep going, man. We're going to keep going and give this everything.
Camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I'm an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
steps through. Wild left. Oh, she got it to go and one. Oh, my. Put it up off the glass and good.
Nice running one-hander there by Tamia Scott.
Gregory, long range three. Good.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. We are now focused on all things Lady Topper basketball. Let's talk about that loss to MTSU.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate one for sure, especially because I think at the beginning of the game there was definitely hope for the Hilltoppers, and then by the second half it just all fell through, especially because MTSU had a 9-point run in the second quarter, and you can't let that happen if you want to win a game. Sorry. But the score was 73-63, a W for MTSU, and they just seem to like have something on our tops. Like, I don't know what it is, but when it's MTSU against the Hilltoppers, MTSU is just like, sorry, you're just not good enough.
Nope. And we saw Josie Gilvin had 20 points. She went 7 for 17. I believe that was the same exact thing for Dawn McHenry.
I'm
for
pretty
men's
sure it
basketball.
was.
So copy and paste there from men's to women's. But
literally,
I think the biggest thing for the Tops, MTSU had Tamia Scott. She had 24 points up against the Tops, and she was Conference USA Player of the Week last week. So I just think WKU was not ready for that kind of aggression on the court.
No, I don't think so that they were either. But another player that I do want to point out is Sophia Talegdi. I mean, she had almost all of her points for the Tops were three-pointers, which is really impressive, and I was honestly kind of in awe of it. But I think the other thing too we have to remember about this matchup is that it was a #1 team in conference play versus a #3 team in conference play. And obviously, I'm the type of person who wants to root for the underdog, and I really thought the Hilltoppers were going to pull out on this one, but they didn't. And I just can't believe, you know, that how much they struggled, honestly, at the end, and just didn't fight as much as I thought that they should.
But now let's go ahead and hear from Coach Collins after that loss.
But we've got a pattern going right now. We just need to learn how to play defense with our hands back and get that box out. A lot of Zophie's fouls at Middle Tennessee came off of rebounds. You know, giving up an offensive rebound and then fouling on a second shot. And so we've got to keep working at playing defense without fouling and rebounding that first defensive rebound.
Yeah, I think what Colin said makes a lot of sense. Like, they just have to be better on it with rebounds and things like that. And last night against Sam Houston on the road, we were actually able to pull out a win, and I am so excited for those Hilltoppers because that actually puts them at 3rd in CUSA.
It was a very good win for WKU. The final score was 57-45, won by 12, and the field goal percentage was 46.8% for WKU. Sam Houston was only 35%, but Sam Houston went 0 for 12?
How are you going to go 0 for 12 in conference play? Like, I don't understand that. Because, I understand there are times where you genuinely, the ball just doesn't drop in the hoop, and that sucks. But none of them, absolutely none.
And WKU led with assists with 18 against 13. I think that's also a key aspect when you want to win a basketball game. That teamwork has to be there on the court when you want to. But I think Josie Gilvin was part of that reason for those many assists.
100%.
She had 5 assists in the game against Sam Houston. Not to mention 23 points. She was 9 for 13. She carried the team 100%, especially with her 11 rebounds. And no one else on the WKU girls basketball team made more than 9 points in that game. So Josie is 100% an Energizer player on that court.
Oh yeah, and we'll actually hear more about her when Ryan comes to join us later. But now let's look ahead up at the matchup against La Tech. I definitely think, with the Hilltoppers coming off of a win and La Tech is actually coming off of a loss against MTSU, there is definitely a lot of potential for the Hilltoppers in this game. Kaylee, what do you think?
I agree. They are 13-11 right now, averaging about 68% from the free throw line. So I just think the Lady Toppers really have to keep their head in the game here. They're averaging 66 points per game. They are 3rd in CUSA, like you said, and they are a pretty good rebounding team, and WKU needs to step their game up when it comes to rebounds as well. So I don't know, they're very similar in my opinion.
Yeah, they are, but I definitely think that WKU is going to be able to pull out a win with this one, especially because, again, we've talked about it. Josie Gilvin, she is somebody that is a force to be reckoned with, so La Tech is going to have to be on her. And also, we have to talk about players like Sophia Talegdi. She's also somebody that's kind of come out of nowhere a little bit and has been able to put a stop to teams as well. So I think La Tech is definitely going to have to keep their eye out for those kind of girls. But I also think Western needs to keep their eye out for players like Jordan Marshall. I mean, she has a total of 198 total rebounds. Her free throw percentage is a 65.6%. And, you know, she's also scored 15 points against WKU in January. And she's a freshman, too. So, like, WKU is going to have to just keep their eye on her, and maybe even put maybe some more, like, I don't know, like seniors or juniors up on her, just to make sure that that La Tech doesn't put the ball in her hands.
Absolutely, especially because in high school she was her 6A state championship and championship game MVP. So she has enough experience to really take on these WKU toppers.
No, she definitely does. But next we'll be stepping up to the plate to talk about all things baseball and Coach Reardon's hot start to the season.
And you don't want to miss all that softball has pitched to their fans next on the Extra Point.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
The Extra Point. Let's talk some WKU baseball. Jonah, how is the season so far?
Honestly, it's great so far if you're playing for WKU baseball, because they've only had 2 games this season against the same team and have won both games. So honestly, if I was playing baseball, I'd want to play for the Tops. But also, let's look at how they won this game. You know, in the first game, they won 9-7, which I feel like is a pretty high-scoring baseball game, especially too. Something I want to point out is also in this first game, WKU was able to score 4 runs within the 8th inning. So Illinois State definitely had their work cut out for them. And then also in the second game, they won 4-3. But also, let's talk about some players. Kaylee, who stood out to you?
For me personally, someone who stood out to me, Carlos Vasquez, he has a 500 average. That is very, very good if you're looking at college baseball. 2 RBIs this season so far. Moving on to Drew Wallen, 8 strikeouts in the last 2 games. He has a 4.15 ERA, and he was on the Conference USA All-Freshman team last season. We have some impressive players here.
Especially with those 8 strikeouts too. during, against Illinois State, this team was able to make 21 strikeouts, which is the most strikeouts that they've had in a game since 2005, which is really impressive. And I think, too, if WKU can keep this momentum going, continue with these strikeouts and everything, they're going to be able to win. I think their next couple of games, maybe not the complete season, but definitely close to it.
Absolutely. Now, swinging into some action with some Hilltopper softball. The season has a little more experience because they are 6-4 so far. But Jonah, tell me what you think so far.
I honestly think that softball has some really good momentum going. They've also just won all 5 games in the tournament that they just played. And softball has not been able to do this since 2022 at their own Hilltopper Spring Fling. And also, this team is kind of full of some new players. They have 8 new players this season, 6 of which are freshmen and 2 are transfers. So obviously they kind of have to figure out they've got to figure out their chemistry and everything. But let's talk about Rylan Smith. She has 14 strikeouts this season, which is awesome, I think, too, especially because for a pitcher, you have to be able to be quick, have to be able to think on your feet, and she's just one of those players that does that. And she was also Conference USA's Pitcher of the Week. So, Kaylee, tell me a little bit more about who you think is good more on the offensive end.
Absolutely. I think if we look at Jenna Blatton, she is a transfer from UK this year, so I think that's another thing that is very good, gaining a player from a team like University of Kentucky. Her average is 548, and she has 7 RBIs this season so far. She is 9-9, and I just think that every other player needs to look out for her, and the team chemistry that is going to build throughout this season is going to be fantastic.
No, for sure. But now that you've touched some grass, let's head back inside for some high school basketball.
Yep, that's right. You will hear more about the 4th region tournament next on the Extra Point.
Bring it.
I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride? Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. The postseason for Kentucky high school basketball is 1 week away, and we are now joined by the voice of Greenwood Gators, Tyler Fernandez. Tyler's here to break down the Gators under Coach Will McCoy.
Well, obviously the season has not been pretty, to say the least. But on the plus side, though, I do want to talk about their big win against the South Warren Spartans, which was marked the first time they've beaten a district team since the 21-22 season, when they beat then Warren East, who used to be in Greenwood's district. They're obviously now in the 15th district now. But let's go ahead. I want to break down this film for you guys because this is very important here. But let's start off with the way South Warren fought back. Give them credit here. There's Ryan Troutman. Look at that 50-50 position. He either take Camden Page over on the right side corner or Griffin Raridan. And Troutman just a hair late, but guess what? You can't be a hair late when you're guarding Griffin Raridan. And not only did Raridan do it to him once, he got caught in the pickle twice was Ryan Troutman. See, look at that. Yeah, he unfortunately would have lost his money if he was at a casino because no doubt he swung and missed at that gamble, and that leaves Raritan wide open right wing. Doesn't matter the range. He's going to knock it down any day of the week. But look at the way the Gators fought back. Here's Garrett Hatcher, the ball handler. And watch what he does here. Look at that beautiful pump fake right there. Gets Camden Page in the air, got bit on the pump fake. Hatcher says, I'll go up and under and through you, and I'll score the layup, please and thank you. But now let's look at this ball movement here by Greenwood. It's going to start with Nick Simpson, and there's Landon Metter. It's going to hand it off to Asher Pettis, and we're going to stop it right about there. Look at 3 Spartans right here. All of them are eyeing Asher Pettis. Once again, Camden Page is the one guarding Garrett Hatcher. Page backs off just for a second, and bam, Hatcher knocks down the 3 ball. And here's the play that sealed the deal. Here's freshman phenom Brandon Perkins. But watch Hatcher once again. He's going to eye the ball right there and anticipate the pass going to Griffin Raritan. He steals the ball, takes it all the way in, just like my almost 20,000 views on Game 7 Instagram with me going crazy on the call. But Greenwood slammed the jaw shut, sealed the deal, and got the win over the Spartans 67-62.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Tyler. Now, go ahead and talk to me about those rankings.
Well, the girls' rankings is definitely a very fascinating thing we need to talk about. Let's first of all give a couple of congratulations to Larisha Cawthorn for Franklin Simpson, 4th Region Player of the Year, and Kristen Anderson of Cumberland County for being 4th Region Coach of the Year for Cumberland County. Look at those standings. I mean, I agree with some of these. You got Franklin Simpson at the 1. I would have switched Metcalfe and Barron County and put the Lady Hornets at 2, the Trojanettes at 3. Other than that, you can't really go wrong with anybody else throughout that region. You could make an argument that ACS should be possibly above Bowling Green, but granted, Will's the Bowling Green PA guy, so he probably had something else to say about that. But other than that, with these rankings, obviously, I don't think you can go wrong with these. I think the 4th region, I think, is an interesting one this year because normally Bowling Green is the one that controls it, but Franklin Simpson, with the size and speed that they have, especially with Cawthorn and the unfortunate loss of Natea Warlode for a season-ending injury, I think definitely makes the 4th region tournament a lot more interesting.
Talk to me about the boys' rankings, Tyler.
Let's go ahead and talk about those boys' rankings, why don't we? Let's talk about this. All right, Warren Central, I don't think there's any question. Shout out Ant McAfee, 4th Region Player of the Year on the boys' side. And then you got Bowling Green, I think that's pretty obvious there. Clinton County, I think, is an interesting one, and they had a really good season this year. Nick Irwin, 100% deserves 4th Region Coach of the Year. I don't know what people had at the bar last night, but who put Metcalfe County at 10? I need to have a conversation with them because Metcalfe County has not had a great season. Outside of that, I mean, you can't really go wrong with these rankings. I mean, South Warren has done a pretty good job, and they've got the 3rd seed in the 14th district, and then Greenwood got the 4th seed now. But you know, it's going to be a fascinating thing, you know, to figure out these seedings as the season goes on, especially now in district tournament this year, especially in the 14th, being at Bowling Green High School. So. We should be in for an interesting one here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tyler. Coming up, Tyler and I are staying, but joining us will be Eli Thompson for everyone's favorite segment, Delay of Game, right after the break.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think.
You alright? It just feels like it's coming from everywhere. Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Delay of Game. A quick reminder, each contestant will have 40 seconds to argue their point without interruption. After that, gloves are off. Today, I'm joined by Tyler and Eli. Let's talk some high school basketball. Our first topic is, who is the best team in the state? Eli, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, no, I think this one is probably my favorite discussion because I think me and Tyler are arguing the one and the two best teams in the state. However, I get the underdog because I know what I'm talking about, and that is why I'm giving you Great Crossing as the best team in the state. Malachi Moreno, he's D1 Kentucky star, 22 points per game, absolutely looking amazing this season. Vince Dawson, 18 points per game. These two stars really stand out for this team, and that's what makes them look so strong. And the main thing I want to talk about is it is a revenge game for Great Crossing. So Tyler's going to tell you all these great things about St. X, and that's great and all. However, the revenge game always means more. You don't beat a good team twice. Great Crossing is the better team. They're winning.
Okay, Tyler.
Well, fascinating thing you say that because you never know if they're going to play. But, of course, the right answer has to be the Tigers of St. X. And no doubt St. X has been probably the most dominant team all year long under head coach Kevin Klein. And Kevin Klein has been the head coach at St. X longer than Great Crossing has been a high school. But let's look at their rankings. 25-2 this season, best team in the state, according to Nation's Elite. Jeremiah Jackson averaging 14 a game, and they brought most of their roster back from last season. But they're like the Louisville version of Warren Central. If one guy has a bad night, guess who's also going to step up? Chance Dillingham. You got also Jermaine Chief Cameron, and you got Will Hankey also scoring the ball efficiently as well. So St. X has got a more balanced team.
Okay.
No, that's
Go ahead.
You can take your 4 or 5 players that average 12, but I'm taking my 2 players that are averaging 18 and 23. I just think that the numbers do not lie, and that
it's
this
all
team's
about the
just
team.
better.
It's all about team basketball. Team basketball is what's going to win you.
The skill gap is too high in high school for you to be talking about a team sport. No, the team with the best players wins.
No, my question is too, what if your guys Moreno and Dawson have a bad night? Who's going to step up and score for them?
Yeah, that doesn't happen. They don't have bad nights. They don't have bad nights. It's that simple. It's that simple. You don't have bad nights and go play for the best SEC school in the nation.
What SEC school is there in high school? I mean, come on, man. Like, you cannot, like, I'm not saying Great Crossing is trash, but and all that.
Hey, I think we can both agree they're the best 2 teams in the state.
No, without a doubt. But
Absolutely.
the thing is
Right
that St. X is the better team.
On air?
Better team basketball.
That's crazy.
Okay, fine. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Goodness me.
Okay, let's move on. We heard your opinion about the best team, but who is the best player in the state? Yeah?
I got to start off with my boy Xander Carter. He's looked absolutely stunning all season, and he's looked stunning his 4 years in high school at Ashland Blazer. Over 2,400 points have been scored. That's a lot of points. That is a lot of the times the ball going through the basket and therefore adding points to the scoreboard. Also, leads the team in rebounds this season. That goes without showing. He's a hustler. He's averaging 24 points per game. He shoots an amazing 3-ball, and he has shot a lot of threes in his career. This guy is a different level of success, and I think with him going to Liberty, he's going to do great things there, and he's easily the most overlooked player in this state.
Okay, Tyler, what do you think?
You know, there's nothing wrong with going an experienced person, but I think it's time the young buck is going to shine, and I'm taking the 6'6" sophomore phenomenon in Jack Logsdon. Now, I had the pleasure of going to Grayson County broadcasting Jack Logsdon, and I had a familiar time with knowing and understanding his game because he leads the team in points per game, 20 points per game, and not only that, he leads the team in rebounding as well. And if it weren't for him, I don't think Grayson County beats the #1 team in the 3rd region in Davis County, because he had 31 points. And yes, it was a double overtime. You can argue that those stats are, quote-unquote, padded. But at the same time, you cannot overlook the fact that Logsdon is a huge piece to this Grayson County team. And he's got a couple more years left in him. I'm telling you right now.
Okay. Both
Yeah,
of you.
Tyler, I'm glad you clarified that he stands 6'6". Just want to make sure he didn't sit 6'6". So I'm glad you pointed that out.
Have to do with this
Also,
conversation?
20 points per game. That's pretty good. It's not bad, but when you're in a weak region, I don't think it's that like.
Third region is not weak.
It's just not that good, though, is it?
You got some good teams there. You got Grayson County.
All right,
You got Davis
you take
County.
Jack
and
Logsdon.
Owensboro
I'll take
Catholic.
Xander Carter one-on-one. We'll see who's the GOAT.
Ooh, okay, interesting. I mean, I got my money
you
on the
picked up some
length.
bum from the trenches that you found on the internet, and I picked an actual good dude.
He's not a bum. Like, he can score.
Like, I picked an
the guy's
actual
over
good
1,000.
dude. Over 1,000. My dude's got over 2,500.
Logsdon's got 2 more years on him. What's Xander Carter's year?
He's a senior.
Okay,
He's
cool.
proven.
Logsdon's got more time, so he can prove himself.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's time to move on.
Gonna look like my stocks.
Lastly,
Straight down.
be quiet. Who in the fourth region can challenge the Warren Central Dragons? Eli, you can once talk again.
Absolutely. This one is, without a doubt, the easiest question. It's Clinton County. I mean, not only do I think that they're better, whoever Tyler's going to tell you, this is one of the best teams in the state, and I think they have a good chance to win it all in Rupp. They've looked absolutely so good all season. 26-2, 4 players averaging 11 points per game, and they average more points per game than Warren Central. And last time I checked, if you end a game and have more points than the other team, you win the game. So I do think that this team is better than Warren Central. The only thing they lack is the senior roles, and I think that's easily made up for with just how talented this young group is. There's a lot of juniors on this team. There's a lot of sophomores on this team. This Clinton County team is different, and I think if Bowling Green and Warren Central aren't careful, this Clinton County team is going to come out on top in the state. They can beat anyone. They're so good.
You finished?
Finished.
All right, well, there's
Go ahead, Tyler.
I cannot argue that, but there's only one right answer. It's the Bowling Green Purples. And not only that, but you got to understand is that they're in the same district as Warren Central. They play them twice a year, right? Not once a year, twice a year. Clinton County hasn't even played Warren Central one time. So looking at it here, Bowling Green averages 4 guys with more than 10 points per game. Guard play is probably the best, probably in the region, and they're a solid team, top 5 in the region. I mean, the 4 players that average double figures are Luke Idlett, dog. Joseph Hurt, dog. Deuce Bailey is really, really good as well. But the other 2 guys that average double figures are the Bankster, Braylon Banks, and Jace Wardlow. So there you go.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, I think you're just too caught chasing the past. I mean, Bowling Green's had 2 chances, Warren Central, and they lost both times. It's time to move on to the new team, Clinton County. And you're talking about dogs. Clinton County has the dogs. Bowling Green has the puppies.
Do you want me to read you the schedule of Clinton County? Foundation Christian Academy. Who the heck is that?
Absolute
Who's
star-studded
Oneida
team.
Baptist?
Star-studded team.
No, they're not.
Star-studded
Bowling
team.
Green's schedule is way better. Dare
Nope.
County, Woodford County, Barron County, North Hardin,
Get a load of
Henderson
this
County,
guy.
and Ashland Blazer.
Nah.
The
Clinton
better
County is
teams.
that team.
Bowling Green schedule's
Clinton
better
County
teams.
is that team. And just wait till next year when they have those senior roles. Wait till next year. Clinton County's winning the region and probably the state.
No.
Probably.
It's between
I'm
Warren
looking right
Central.
here. Do not take this camera off of me. Clinton County
Actually, we're gonna go ahead
will
and
win
take
in
the
Rupp
camera
Arena.
off of you. We're gonna go ahead and take the camera off of you because it is now time to move on. We have heard some interesting things, but next up, learn how one lady topper brings the heart and energy of the Commonwealth on the court for WKU.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. Coach Collins' squad is aiming for a top 4 finish in the league, and one player is bringing the energy and motivation to this Lady Topper team. Sports Director Ryan Murphy has more on player energized by competition.
Some players have established their royalty. Some players take their team to new heights. And some,
she should have a NIL deal with Red Bull.
give you wings.
Right on cue from Alexis Dean. Here's Gilman for the good fake. Baseline 15 out.
Great move and nice pull-up jump shot as well by Gilman.
Not the first of many steals we're going to see as Salary takes it away, and Gilman picks up right where she's left off. Josie Gilman, she's not done scoring in the quarter, make it 20-10 WKU.
I probably need to tone it down a little bit, but I mean, just saying what's on my mind, really. But yeah, I hope that brings other energy to people on our team, just like lock in.
That energy is undeniable. On both sides of the ball, Josie Gilvan stands out. Top 5 in steals in CUSA, averaging 11 points per game and leading on the boards for WKU.
Yeah, Joe's she is the Energizer Bunny. She never runs down. She's just tireless and darn near indestructible.
Fresh off her career-high 28-point performance against Kennesaw State, Sacred Heart's legacy
Gilman underneath.
Great play that time.
is making the most of her junior season.
I don't know.
She doesn't care about that.
I don't know. I just wanted to win.
She just plays until she sits back down.
Midway through the second quarter, I turned to Coach Buchanan and said, they about tired of seeing Josie Gilman. Like, she was up her guarding the pants off anybody who had the ball, and they were tired of it.
Effort, endurance, energizer. 3 E's to describe WKU's supercharger. For the Extra Point, I'm Ryan Murphy.
Wow. I mean, you can really see when a player as strong as Josie Gilvan has the passion for basketball.
No, definitely. And I think WKU wouldn't be the same team it is without her. I mean, you know, let's go ahead and put up the graphic again from against the game of Sam Houston. You know, she averaged 23 she had 23 points in that game, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, that's not something you're just gonna get anywhere. And I also think it's really nice that she's also just a player from Kentucky. Like, she is somebody that I feel like a lot of, especially like high school players that are looking to play either for Western or just for some school in Kentucky can look up to and be like, oh, I don't have to be from another state to be able to play at Western. Like, I could be from the Commonwealth itself as long as I put in the drive and the hustle that Josie Gilvan does.
She makes such an impact, and it is honestly just amazing to see her perform on the court.
No, it definitely does. But don't go anywhere, because I will be joined by Lincoln and Megan for another delay of game next on the Extra Point.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Delay of Game. You know the rules, and in our final round this week, we have Megan Geisler going up against Lincoln Bryant. So, I want to know, what's your all's first so our first topic is Pat Kelsey and the Louisville Cardinals. Does the first-year head coach have his team tournament ready? Lincoln, what do you think?
Jonah, Pat Kelsey has this team ready. They're ready to go, man. You got to start off with what's recently been going on. They've won 4 straight games, coming in at 20-6 on the year so far. This team is hot. They're hot right now. And Pat Kelsey, you might want to look at the past and be like, oh, he hasn't been here before. He hasn't done this March Madness, but he's ready to go. And in my opinion, as a Louisville fan, Chucky Hepburn is the best point guard in the ACC. He's averaging 15, 3 and 6, and 3 steals per game. He's leading this team to success, just like Pat Kelsey. Louisville is ready to go.
Megan, do you think this team is as hot as Lincoln says they are?
They are not as hot as Lincoln says they are. First of all, as Lincoln graciously pointed out for me, Pat Kelsey has never won a March Madness game. Like, he has never even appeared in a March Madness game. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's never been to March Madness. He's never won March Madness. And they have not won a postseason game since 2017. They have not won. Even without Pat Kelsey, they have not won in March Madness since 2017. And they have had 6 different coaches in 9 different years. They keep running through coaches. They're not going to do well. They need to have a consistent schedule, a consistent coaching schedule, and a consistent staff to be able to perform well in this postseason.
Yeah, I think you both make great points, but it's your all's turn to discuss.
Well, I mean, you're wearing those shades to show how hot it is. The ray coming off of Louisville basketball.
Okay, Mr. Hat's too small. Squeeze
hey,
your
they're
head.
looking good, man.
How can you even think with a hat squeezing your head?
You don't even know what Louisville basketball played recently. You don't even know what's going on with their team. They're doing great right now.
I know that they're not going to do well. How are you going to go into the postseason having never won a postseason game?
This is a different year, Megan. You're talking about the past. This team is ready this year.
You know what? History always repeats itself.
Oh, well, okay, but
this
team, Louisville hasn't won 20 games since 2017.
Oh, you stuttering?
This team is ready to go. Yes, they do.
Yes, they are
ready. Yes, I do. They're ready to go, bro.
No, they're not. They
they
may be playing well now, but statistically, they are not looking good for the postseason. They have not had a consistent coaching schedule. They have not won games in the past.
We've won 4 in a row. They're looking great right now, actually, Megan. March Madness is going to. They're going to go pretty far.
I think you're saying that just because you're a fan. If we look realistically at this, they historically are not going to do well.
You don't even need to be biased. Look at
All
2016.
right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up right now. We'll talk about this later. Next up in women's basketball, after UConn's big win against South Carolina, are you buying or selling UConn women's basketball? Lincoln, what do you think?
I know the fans aren't going to like me for this one, folks, but we're selling this team. You got to look at UConn. They lost to 15th ranked Tennessee 3 games ago. This team is just, when they play hard teams, sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. They're inconsistent. You got to look at their players, man. They can't stay healthy. Like Paige and Ozzy both having knee injuries consistently.
You don't even know how to say it.
Okay, you're not supposed to be talking right now. Anyways, they can't stay healthy, and when you go into the playoffs, you have to be ready. You have to be healthy. This UConn team isn't, and they only beat unranked Creighton by 11. You got to beat your conference teams easily. Come on, especially a team that's unranked like Creighton, and they need to learn how to rebound, man. They're ranked 20th in women's basketball. Come on now, UConn.
All right, Megan, what do you think?
So, how are you going to say that a team that is top in their conference and undefeated in conference play How are you going to say they're bad? They have literally never lost a game in their conference, yet they're bad. Sorry, I thought if you won, that meant you were good. They have literally never lost to people in their conference. They're ranked #1 in conference and 5th overall. They're in the top 10. They're in the top 5. They are here to stay, and they're here to play. They know what they're doing. They have 3 great players. They have Asia Fudd. They have Paige Beckers. They have Sarah Strong. All phenomenal players that have stood out time and time again. And you say, oh, only if they're healthy? Well, they are healthy. All of them are playing right now. They are all healthy right now.
Alrighty, and Lincoln, what are your thoughts on that?
Dude, they're healthy right now, but they can't stay healthy, Megan.
Yeah, but they're healthy right now.
We've got a girl over here that's literally post-concussion protocol here. She doesn't know what she's talking about when she looks at UConn and says they're undefeated in their conference. The Big East is not big.
Okay, well, let's talk about how they're
not big. The Big East is not good.
24-3 overall. 3 losses. Only 3.
Three
so
losses.
Undefeated in their
When it comes
conference,
to that
but only 3
tournament, they don't
overall.
play consistently good teams.
Oh,
they have a decently hard schedule, but when it comes to March Madness, you're playing those good teams consistently.
They have won either a conference regular
consistently
season, conference tournament, or national championship for
good
31
teams get boards,
straight
Megan.
years.
Good teams get boards.
Boards?
Rebounds. Boards.
Okay, well, they're scoring, so half the time
You
they don't even need to get the rebound because the ball's going in the basket.
Yeah.
The ball's going in the basket, so they don't need to get the rebound.
I'm selling that team, man. They ain't winning this.
Okay.
They ain't winning anymore. They might have looked good last week against South Carolina.
Yeah, they literally just beat South Carolina.
That ain't
Thank you for bringing that up.
No.
Bringing up more points to prove
I'm bringing up
UConn
why that's
is
inconsistent.
amazing.
That really happens for them.
Well, we can talk about, we'll talk about this later. And our last topic is, should Kentucky be within the top 25? I mean, I have my opinions, but Lincoln, let's hear yours.
This UK team loses to crappy teams. This UK team is not here. No shot they should be in the top 25 anymore. This team can't beat bad teams, like I said, like Texas, Arkansas, Georgia. They can't beat them. Every time I turn on the TV, I watch UK and they're playing an unranked team. They're losing. You might say, yeah, they play good against hard teams sometimes, but that's rare to come by for UK. They're not doing this, and you don't need 9 SEC teams in the top 25. Why is there 9? Let's pick some different conferences. They're not that good. They're just ranking the SEC higher because that's what they see. They're not that good.
Well, I personally think Lincoln's a little biased since he's a Louisville fan. But Megan, what are your thoughts?
So, first of all, you say that you don't need 9 SEC teams in the top 25. Maybe it's because historically the SEC has been some of the best conference. They have some of the best teams, the best players. Of course, they're going to be more than a couple in the top 25. Also, they have 7 top 15 ranked wins, meaning not top 25, top 15. They have beat 7 top 15 teams. Also, they beat Duke, who was ranked number 2 at the time. So if they're over here beating people who are ranked 2, they deserve to be up there. And Tennessee, ranked. They beat them twice. Not once, twice. They know what they're doing.
It's a rival. That doesn't
So
matter.
actually,
it's just
still
a rival
my
game.
turn to talk?
No.
Okay,
I'm going to look
just
at
go
Alec
ahead.
on this one. It's pretty clear and evident from the tip that they're pretty trash, all right? UK is not meant to be here, all right?
Okay.
It's not.
They're
not meant to
beating
be
good
here.
teams. They beat Tennessee
They're not meant to
twice.
be here.
They beat Duke. They have a great
Duke
offense.
was in
all
August
of this.
or November.
They have 7 top 15.
Right now, when they go against those bad teams, they're not winning.
But they are winning against the good teams, so
Well, yeah, against
they're
Tennessee.
winning against people who
Tennessee
matter.
loses. Tennessee lost to Florida by 30.
Okay, they beat them twice. Tennessee is ranked higher than them. They're
Because it's a
beating
rival.
people-
That's what happens when you go to rival. It's a
they're
different
beating
atmosphere.
people-
You don't look at the top 25.
No.
Yeah, it's
Rival-
UK, man. UK is not looking good right now.
UK is historically famous for its basketball program.
You
and
said
they're
they have a
ranked-
strong offense. Tell me one of the UK players that has a strong
You
offense.
tell me one of their UK players. Exactly. You don't know.
Otega away, trash.
Okay.
Whatever
Exactly.
their names are.
He's just
I
blowing
don't even
air.
know them because their
He's just blowing
offense
air.
isn't that good. I mean,
Well, then why are you bringing
like
it up?
Lamont Butler, man. It's trash. They ain't good.
Okay, they are good. If you look at who they have beaten, they are good.
Yeah, but look who they have lost
they
to,
have
Megan.
the record.
Look who they've lost to. They've lost to freaking OSU.
But they're beating the
Okay,
people that
and?
matter. They're beating
OSU,
the
they
people
good
that
at basketball?
matter.
They're
They're
not good at
beating
basketball.
people
Beating
ranked.
Tennessee.
They have top 5 ranked wins.
Tennessee
they are
is
beating
not
people
good.
who are in second.
Second,
They're
dude, that
beating
was in
people who are in
November.
second.
This is now. We're not talking
It's
about
the
now.
same
That was in
season,
the
dude.
past.
Okay,
season,
all
same
right. We've heard their opinions, but
Alec, they're
don't
trash.
go anywhere because just like Megan busted her head, Kaylee and I will bust a move when we return.
Bring it. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride? Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to the Extra Point, and to wrap up the show, we're going to go ahead and go for two. So, Kaylee, let's talk a little bit about high school dance nationals. I know this happened a little while ago, but I still think it's something that we need to talk about. I mean, what were your thoughts on it?
Okay, so I was a dancer in high school. I know, hold the applause, everybody. But I thought it was really good. I really enjoy watching high school dance teams perform, especially in Orlando at Disney, and I just think they're so talented. First place, Palm, Highlands High School.
Highlands High School. I'm a proud alum. I'm actually so proud of these girls, especially because this is also their second year with this coach. Not their first, their second year, which is very impressive. Granted, also, this coach has been somebody that has teams that are so uber competitive. But I also want to point out that Highlands wasn't just the only Kentucky team there. They also had Lafayette High School and DuPont Manual and South Oldham that placed 14th in their prelims, which is pretty fantastic. And the other thing about high school dance nationals is there are 22 different divisions. So there are girls from all over competing. And then also,
that's
again,
a lot too. That is a lot. And it's good to see Kentucky teams do that, because coming from all over the United States to perform in front of millions of people, it's so impressive.
It is, and especially it's a great opportunity to represent your high school. I mean, obviously, you know, we talked about basketball today and who's going to state and who's going to region and districts and everything. But
dance is important too.
Yes.
Dance is a sport.
Exactly. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. And as always, it's up and it's good.